Monday, November 30th. There is your closing bell, guys. With the S&Ps down about 14 points, we're seeing our first red day on a Monday in over a month. Let's dive right in, break this market down, and then go over the top 3 stocks on the day. We'll start with the S&P 500, and you can see we're getting a surge of buying coming into the final minutes. We're actually down just 9 points in the futures, with the SPX closing about 16 down, guys. We take a look at this in the trading session, guys. We saw some aggressive selling right out the gates the first hour of trading, only to be bought up around the 3,600 level. Now, this was a monthly candle close, so there's a lot of dressing where they want this candle to close. Taking a look at this on the monthly, guys, we had back-to-back months down only to see this surge up. It was a good month. November was very good. However, when we look on a volume profile, guys, what makes the most sense for us to come back down to this 3562 level? We'll see, but when we take a look at our SPX, guys, we came into this week with about a 70-point expected move, guys. So 70 up would take us to 3708. That would be an all-time high in the S&P 500. However, 70 down takes us to 3567. That's our lower edge on the week. And I just showed you here on the volume profile, there's a lot of history at this 3560 level. So that could play a huge role of support if we do see a pullback. We're starting the week red. However, things can quickly switch depending on what technology wants to do. Speaking of tech, let's go check out the NASDAQ. We browse the NASDAQ and we see it's up 0.34% on the day, guys. It's our only index green. Traders are flocking to technology, what they know and love for so long. However, when we compare the NASDAQ to our big 5, guys, the big 5 consists of Google, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Facebook. It's a market cap weighted index, and today, guys, it was down over 1%. When you compare that to the NASDAQ, that's huge difference right there. And all these guys, all these 5 stocks are also in the S&P 500. So you can feel the weight from the big 5 on our S&P 500 just by looking at this top 5 market cap stocks. Traders are just flocking to what they know today. And when we look at the NASDAQ on a year to date, it's up 38% on the year. It's up large when we compare it to the S&Ps and the Russell 2000. Speaking of the Russell 2000, what did the small caps do today? Well, we cruise on and take a look at the Russell, guys. It's down over 1.5% today. We're seeing a pullback in the small caps. Now, where is that selling coming from in these small caps? Well, we look at the XLF, the financials, it's down over 2% today. Financials on the year are down about 10%, and this is an index we need to see rally if we want to make all-time highs in the broader market, guys. But this is natural to see some profit taking. The question becomes, how much do we fall? Now, what else is down today? I noticed the XLE. It's down over 5.5% today. On a year-to-date basis, it's down 39%. Another sector we need to see getting some bids, and it had a nice month. November was very good for these sectors, guys. However, we're seeing some profit taking going into December. Now, what did other sectors do across the board? You might be wondering. Well, we take a look, guys, and we see well, technology was the top performing sector on the day, and we had healthcare up about 0.25%. Everything else was kind of flat to down, with energy being our worst performing sector, with financials right behind it. Now, we see the sectors and what they're doing. What's our advanced decline line in the S&P 100 looking like? Well, we take a look at the advanced decline line. Now, this is in the S&P 100. This is the top 100 market caps in the S&P 500, guys. And we're seeing about 25 up and 75 down. So it's not that bad of an AD line. It was about 10 up, 90 down earlier in the morning trade, but we saw a bounce across the board. Equities outside of technology are taking it to the chin today. How is our bond market faring? We take a look at the ZB, the 30-year Treasury bond futures, and we see it's down about 0.15% on the day. Call it flat, near flat on the day. Now, when we put this on a volume profile, what makes the most sense this is only over the course of 30 days, 1 hour. What makes the most sense? Well, there's a lot of history at this 173 level. Now, but this is only in the past 30 days of data, guys. When we kick this thing out and we go to a year to date, we can see we're right about where we belong, the 173 level. It'll be interesting to see if we can get to that 177, 178 level where we spent most of the time in the first half of the year. We'll see if we get there, and if we do make that move, that's a pretty sizable move, and we will feel it in the equities market. So bonds are flat, equities are down for the most part. How is volatility faring? Well, we take a look at our VIX futures, guys, and the VIX futures are down about 1.7% on the day. They had something going for them, only to get it ripped right underneath their feet, guys. We take a closer look at this, and we see it got a nice pop twice, and then it was a fade for the remainder of the day. However, when we look at the VVIX measures the volatility of the volatility. We can see, well, we picked off on Friday. Where we left off on Friday, that was a nice up day. We gapped up, and we broke above this 110 line, only to fade the rest of the day. Now, when we look at this on the bigger picture, this 110 line has been a pretty big role as a pivot for the most part. It'd be good to see us get back above 110. However, if you're a bull, you want volatility to constrict. You want it to go down. Lower volatility means a nice smooth sailing higher for stocks, guys. But on the bigger picture, guys, I really think we're putting in, when we take a look at the VIX, something very similar to this pattern. I think we're going to put in some round bottom at least into mid-December. I think we could go another 2 more weeks of possibly flushing just kind of up down before either we see a breakdown or break up. My guess is to the upside. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world with coronavirus and with the inauguration on January 20th. Is it going to be a quick and easy, smooth transition, or is Trump going to throw everything he's got? Let's take a look at the US dollar and see what our commodities are doing on a day like today. We take a look at the dollar index, guys, and the dollar index is at about 92. We reached levels that we haven't seen since 2008. We'll take a zoomed out picture here, guys, to give you a better idea. So right around April area, we're hitting levels. However, what makes the most sense? Well, taking a closer look here at the dollar in the short term, this could be a double bottom with a nice little pop, maybe to the 93 level in the dollar. As much as I'd like the dollar to go down, there's some pretty big support from 2008 at this 90 level. So even if we were to come down, this 90 level is going to play a pretty big role of support, and it's going to take a lot to break into the 80s, guys. As much as it makes sense to go down, we're printing so much money, we should drop into the 80s. It's going to be a big fight to get into the 80s. Now, dollars up. How are our commodities doing? Well, we take a look at gold today. Gold's down about 0.5%. It's still trying to find a floor. Are we going to go sideways into the new year? I actually wrote a blog post on this, and I said gold would finish in the high 17s. So we're right about where we would expect it. That run into the high 2000s was a little FOMO, if you ask me. However, when we look at silver, silver is actually up on the day. So traders are front running silver, which is a more speculative commodity, and it's actually outperforming gold with the dollar up today, which is pretty impressive. This could be sign for a bottom being put in when we look at the silver market. And moving on to the final beast, Bitcoin, guys. Now this is just fascinating. We saw a huge drop on Thanksgiving, which my charts were screaming. Volatility is coming up on the 26th. We saw that flush down, but we made a new all-time high today, guys. I actually bought some Bitcoin at 17,000. You buy Bitcoin on the down days. When Bitcoin's down, you buy it and forget about it. Store it on a hard wallet and just pretend you don't own it, because Bitcoin isn't going anywhere, guys. There you guys have it for the market breakdown, guys. We had some vaccine news hit the tape early. However, I think the vaccine news is baked into this marketplace. What's going to take us higher is any word on the stimulus. We have a big day tomorrow. We have Fed Powell speaking, and that's around 10 in the morning. So enough talking, guys. Let's dive in and take a look at the top 3 stocks on the day, guys. So we go to the scan tab and we scan through. What are we looking for? Well, sizzle index of 1. 2 billion market cap, over 5% on the day, and at least 1,000 volume in the options market. There's got to be some action. We hit the scan tab, and here are our top 3 candidates. Coming in at number 3, guys, is Moderna, mRNA, guys. This is a COVID stock, as you might know from now, and it is just on fire. It's up over 20% today, guys. It's got a market cap of over 58 billion, and on a year to date, it's up close to 700%. This stock is on fire, and it has a lot to do with vaccines, guys. Why did it pop today? Well, they announced that they got confirmed for their phase 3 trial for their coronavirus vaccine. So it's a huge pop today. However, when we throw it on an expected move and take a look at this thing, well, we got close to the upper edge 2 weeks prior. Last week we hit the upper edge, and this week we're blowing through that upper edge. This stock has been hot, and this could be a buy the rumor, sell the news type of play, guys. A lot of these pharmaceutical stocks, they're shady. They sell their stocks on a pop, guys, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that here. What makes the most sense? Well, to cool off and hit this upper edge, guys, around 137. So maybe this Moderna stock cools down and shuffles around the 138 level to close the week. Nevertheless, it's on fire today. Coming in at number 2 on the day, guys, goes to CVAC. CVAC, also known as CureVac, has about a 17 billion market cap. When we look at it on a year-to-date basis, it's up 88%. However, today, it's up 22%, so it is up large, guys. And again, this is another COVID vaccine candidate. They're working on an mRNA-based vaccine, and the market ate it up today, guys. However, when we look at the bigger picture, there's not much data on this stock. You can see it's making a clear breakout from when it first traded. It's almost like we see the cup here, and there's the handle and the breakout. So this stock could possibly be a multi-day runner. This could go another week breaking the expected moves. But when we look at it on the expected move, we saw a lot of action in early November. You can see we broke above the expected move large. The week prior, we kind of finished in the middle, and then last week we tagged the upper edge, and then only to see today we're breaking above. What makes the most sense? To come back down to 94 and cool off. However, there's not much data on this stock. It could keep on running. And coming in at number 1 stock on the day, guys, MicroStrategy MSTR. Now, what does this stock do? Well, it provides enterprises with analytics and software services. So it's got a 3 billion market cap. However, in the past 4 days, insane volume has come into this thing. On a year to date, it's up close to 140%. However, today it's up 26%. I'm sorry. Now, what does this stock do, guys? Well, it's a Bitcoin related stock. Back in August, they announced they had over 21,000 Bitcoins. In the end of September, they had almost 38,000 Bitcoins. So it has exposure to Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin, which has been so hot, runs, this stock is going to reap the rewards, guys. And it's just on fire. We take a look at it on an expected move, guys. And what do we see here? Well, last week we blew above it. The week prior we blew above it. And this is the 3rd week blowing past the expected moves. Will this stock cool off? Maybe come back down to 300? Look for 293 to play a role of support. It's the upper edge, and it's going to be the pivot. If it breaks that, it could possibly come back down to this midline on the week of 271, but 250 is the lower edge, guys. There you have it, guys, for the stock market breakdown and the top stocks on the day. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it when you guys show some support, and hit the like button, guys. If you're new to my channel, I do these daily. I just started introducing top 3 stocks on the day, so I'm still working out my format. But if you're new, guys, show some love. Hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. A new subscriber every time I see one, guys. But if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. What are some of the stocks you guys are looking at this week? But on that note, guys, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Have a great night. Take care. Peace.